All right, it's surgery day. I'm gonna leave Prudence at Walmart. I'm gonna get a ride back here. It's only 10 minutes away. So I'm gonna go, ooh, my legs are burning from yesterday's hike. So I'm just gonna double check. I parked in a bush so that nobody's gonna steal my bike, which is fine. Let me just double check everything is locked. Yeah, this thing's gonna come off. I'm gonna wake up with another ridiculous bandage brace, which will be even more annoying. And then, and then I'm just gonna come back here and sleep, eat, because I can't eat anything. I haven't eaten anything since yesterday dinner time. This Prue. So I'm gonna go in Walmart and get a gift card for the lady that's going to drive me over here. I can't take Uber back, but I'm gonna take Uber to the surgical center because that's how I roll. That's how we do it when we're nomadic. But yeah, so the lady's gonna come pick me up. She's very, very kind. Yeah, a lot of, nice people that are like, yeah, we'll come take you. I'm like, it's only literally an 8-minute drive. I could probably walk there if it wasn't raining and if my legs weren't burning from yesterday's hike. But yeah, so she'll be fine. I moved to a different spot though because I parked in the same spot for 2 nights. But I noticed that people park here like all the time, so they don't really care. In the summertime, they're fine with it. The locals would rather you park here than park on their street. So let me go in. I'm hungry and I haven't really drank anything. I had a couple sips this morning of water because I do need to pee in a cup and make sure I'm not pregnant. I'm like, that is highly unlikely that I'm pregnant, but you just have to check anyway. But the funny thing is that's how I found out I was pregnant with Harriet, because I had hurt my back and I thought I broke my back again because it was only a couple years after I left the military. And I was really worried. I couldn't walk. My legs weren't working. I actually just had a pinched sciatica nerve, but I couldn't even put weight on my leg. And I was rollerblading in Santa Monica. So I go to the hospital or the VA in West LA, and they said, well, we'll have to do a pregnancy test before we do the pelvic x-ray. I'm like, oh, I'm not pregnant. So the doctor comes in 30 minutes later, hands me crutches and says, we're not doing an x-ray today. Congratulations, go see prenatal. I'm like, what? Usually I leave the VA without a vital organ. But I was one time I left the VA and found out I had 2 spleens. So I was like, who knew? You can have up to 5 spleens. I'm not sure what the spleen does. But anyway, so it's a rainy day and Harriet was born on a rainy day. And it rained for the whole 3 days I was in the hospital. I didn't have to be in the hospital for 3 days, but I was like, hey, they're bringing me food and I get to sleep. So, and I don't get to have people bothering me. So it was nice. Anyway, so let me go in here. Let me go get a gift card. Let me call my Uber and then head over. It's nice and cold, which means I can sleep the rest of the day and eat a whole bunch of food. I think I'm gonna make pasta for dinner. Then I'll make tomato pasta and with some olive oil if I can. I don't know how this hand's gonna look when I'm done, whether I can use the stove or not. Anyway, okay, let's go in. All right, these are my options for gift cards, and they don't even have any of these restaurants here. They don't have Red Lobster, they don't have Cheesecake Factory, they don't even have a Cracker Barrel. So I don't know if they have a Chick-fil-A, they have a Wendy's. They just have like Lyft, Dinner and a Movie, Disney. They don't have a Disney store anymore. Denny's, Jamba Juice, McAllister's, Schlossky's. They have Starbucks. Starbucks would be fine. Red Robin. Okay, I just want to get like a $25 gift card. Applebee's, maybe they can go out to dinner. Yeah, but like you can't even buy a meal for like that. So this Starbucks for $25. I could do that. All right, now I'm taking an Uber. So I've got about 10 minutes before Diana Meemaw in the GMC Yukon shows up. Okay. All right, there goes my Uber. There's the exit. Check in for surgery at the other door. Everything in this town is use the other door. I'm like, ooh, my thighs are burning. Oh, yeah, that was a good hike yesterday. I'll do it again. But yeah, there's me in my glasses and my sweatpants. And I need to push to open. There we go. Okay, let's go in. Now for 2 days of vegging in my van. There's Prue, she's over there. There's my sling and my left boob. Anyway, so I'm starving for real food. I had a piece of cheese and I had ginger ale and apple juice. So that's not enough when you haven't eaten since yesterday. So I'm gonna go make some food. Unfortunately, I didn't make a cup of tea this morning to save for now. So I've got no tea because I'm not going to be able to use my, I'm not going to be able to use my, my burner, and I don't have enough power to make it, use the tea kettle. So anyway, okay. There's the security guy, his second job, so he doesn't care. There's Prue in all her glory. So I'm just going to chill here. Got my own area. I should park sideways in this spot right here. I don't think they would care. But I can't drive because I'm on so many nerve blockers, pain meds, and all this stuff. But the walk was nice. I just walked from the Hampton Inn. I just had the people drop me off there. I'm not paying $200 a night for a hotel here when I have a home. So anyway, there's Prue. Oh, so glad to be back. So yeah, let me turn the air on. And it's nice and cool today. Not a lot of sun, so I'm probably going to run out of power at some point. But I can always just run the van, and then hopefully, the fridge has been off for 6 hours, so it's still cold. But I'll turn it on for a little bit. I'll chill. I'm a little warm. My hands are, you can't really see. Anyway, but my hands are completely numb. My arm doesn't even feel like it's attached to my body. It's such a weird feeling. They moved it they put the nerve blocker in when it was by my side, and then they moved it over to the left, and I didn't even know it had been moved. It felt like it was still next to my side. It was trippy. It was like, I've never done drugs in my life, but I think that's what drugs would feel like, that you feel like your body is not attached to your body. Anyway, let me go in the van and chill, watch some Netflix, make some lunch, and I'm going to sleep for a little bit, maybe the rest of the day. Oh, the good thing is that on Tuesday, this spiffy brace gets put back on my wrist, which is really awesome. I just hope they can put like an ace bandage or something so it doesn't rip into my hands, because it was cutting into my hand. It's a little bit tight, but anyway, this thing will come off. Oh, okay, let me cool down. And they gave me an ice pack, so I'm just gonna relax. I probably should have taken a shower this morning. It's okay, I'll take a shower in a couple days. I'm not in a hurry, not going anywhere, not working out, just gonna be parked up here for the next couple days. Hopefully I've got enough sun. Hopefully that tree is not gonna take my sun. I should have parked down a little further, but I wanted to be in a bush so that my bike was covered. Let me just check on the bike. All right, so I've been in the van since 4:30 p.m. It's now like 9 p.m. and I've just been tossing and turning and trying to move. I can't move my fingers. I can't even move my arm because I can't feel my arm. It doesn't even feel like it's attached to my body. This must be what paralysis feels like, which is actually an interesting thing to be going through because I work with a lot of adventurers that have paralysis that use adaptive equipment. So I'm actually kind of getting a first-hand sensation of like, I trying to move my arm. It doesn't move. It's starting to wear off a little. My fingers have pins and needles. And I had that phantom pain when I was in the operating room where they put my arm over to the left, and it still felt like it was right next to my hip. In fact, I could touch my hip with my finger that wasn't there. Like the nerves were, they said, like remembering where the arm was prior to getting the nerve blocker. The nerve blocker needle was like 9 inches long. And then I got to watch it on the ultrasound. Sorry, I'm like kind of like downhill backwards here for some reason. I'm not going to show you because I'm a little bit disheveled and sweaty. And anyway, I'm watching Sex and the City. I've been watching like all 8 seasons for the last week or so because that's what us Gen Xers watched when we were in college. And yeah, it's like just checking off like every guy that I know. I'm like, okay, yep, he's definitely that person. No, I'm not like that kind of gal. It's a family channel. No, I'm not really. But anyway, what I am is immobile for a couple days. So luckily, hanging out in the Walmart parking lot for another 3 days is fine. Yeah, so I haven't taken any pain meds at all. I won't. I just took my vitamins, my pantoprazole, which is for my stomach, like heartburn, which I used to get. I don't have it anymore, probably because I'm taking the meds. And also because I took like a antibiotic for a month and that like neutralized whatever was going on in my stomach. And I wasn't able to get my colonoscopy done because I wasn't back in Houston that week, so I need to reschedule. But so far the belly is feeling quite good, but I think it's because I'm super active, but not now. But yeah, it is quite an interesting sensation not to have any control of a limb. But when I was in the hospital, and I just had a big crying fest for about a good like 20 minutes, about an hour ago, when I got rolled into the OR, like I was super calm. I was in like the triage kind of room, like the pre-op room. They gave me the IV, they did all that stuff. And then I went to another room where I sat and waited for about an hour and just kind of chilled. I didn't have my phone. And then I got wheeled into the OR. And of course, I'm on my back and I'm looking at the ceiling, all the lights and everything, and all the doctors with the, nurses with all the face masks on. And I just almost lost it. I just couldn't imagine like what Jeff went through with all of his surgeries. And every time they wheeled him down in the 4 months that I was in the hospital with him, and the dozens and dozens of surgeries that he had for his amputation and his burn wound and his stomach that never healed. And he was on a feeding tube and dialysis, and his view was always just the ceiling, until he was able to sit up. So, and then for 3 or 4 hours a day at a time, he could only look in one direction because they had to turn him, and he wasn't able to turn himself. And I would have to help clean him. He couldn't even use a restroom. We had to use an in-bed thing, and then take care of him and clean him and make sure that he wasn't getting infections. And then he had a bed sore, which was really scary because he almost died. And and so I just got back. I'm in the van, and so I've just been laying here. I'm not going to be leaving this spot for like 4 days. I'm just going to sit here in the van. I'll go for a walk around Walmart every morning for a little bit, just stretch my legs and maybe get some food or something, and all the 17 cans of butane that I bought yesterday. But yeah, I just laid there and looked at the ceiling. It was like, I lost it. And then I tried to compose myself because I didn't want to be upset when they were talking to me and telling me what they were doing and all this. And then they started giving me the oxygen. And then he said, "Do you want to go to sleep?" And I said, "Yes, thank you for playing 60s rock music. Do not play Oasis, otherwise I'm walking out of here. I don't care if half my body is numb." And then the guy goes, "What's Oasis?" I'm like, "Oh, you're so young." So I'm like, Oasis is a terrible 90s band. Don't ever play that music to me in the hospital. But yeah, so I remember nothing. And I woke up in the recovery room and they were really nice there. But I just sat there and just kept thinking like how horrible it was for him. I really miss him. I really miss him a lot. But interesting thing, I finally managed to get out and about a little bit. So I went for a walk and just to kind of stretch my legs and just walk around the neighborhood. And it turned out that somebody decided to blow their brains out at the entrance of the Walmart that I'd been parked at for 3 days. So I wasn't there. I was going for like a 2-mile walk around the neighborhood for about 35-40 minutes, just stretch my legs. They're still allowing us to park. They haven't kicked any of us out. So I just came back. So I wasn't here. I started my walk about 1 o'clock, and I guess the guy did this at like 1:30. So I went for quite a long walk and then ended up just sitting over in like a little kind of dog park area, just in the shade, just to get some fresh air and stretch my legs. And then, then I got the notification. Good afternoon. It is bright and sunny. And I'm driving now. So it's been 5 days since my surgery. The nurse just called me to see how I was doing. I said, yeah, let me tell you, feeling my fingers but not feeling my arm attached to my body was the trippiest feeling I've ever had. It was something out of some horror movie. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, there's an earth roamer for sale. Well, that's an old earth roamer. That one's really old. That's like one of the first editions. Not like what's his face that lives up here, Jason Momoa. Like the meme that says, "Hi, I'm Jason, this is Momoa." Anyway, so I've been cleared to drive. So I'm at Starbucks. It is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I did manage to go to the gym this morning, which was great. So I managed to do 20 minutes only on the stair climber, which was fine. I'm happy with that. Happy to stretch my legs. And now I'm attempting to park. I still have this big ass thing on, but this comes off tomorrow. So yeah, so I talked to the Rocky Mountain Surgical Center yesterday, and I said, what if I need to like drive and stuff? They said, yeah, you should be fine 5 days after. So that's good. So yeah, so I don't know what this person is doing. Oh, anyway, so now I'm here at Starbucks. It's very hot again. It's back up to like 81 degrees, but I'm gonna go sit in Starbucks for a couple hours. Yeah, I managed to finally take a shower and do my hair and stuff. Had to have a couple people help put plastic bags over my wrist. But overall, it doesn't feel anywhere as bad as when I had the tendon surgery back in 2023, and that was to correct injuries sustained in the 2019 assault. I really had no use of my thumb. Now, with this surgery and the previous surgery, I can move my thumb. I still don't have any feeling in my thumb, which is really kind of trippy too, because I was having pins and needles in all the other fingers, but no feeling in my thumb. But I can move it a little bit more than I could 2 years ago. So that's good. But yeah, it's very hot again. So yeah, I just went to the supermarket and made some lunch in the van, watched some Netflix and YouTube for the shows that come out that I follow. I only follow like 4 channels now. I mean, I watch other channels, I just don't subscribe to them just because I just don't want to get inundated. But I'm very grateful to the 1700 or so people that follow my page. So very happy to have you here. But I'm very fortunate, very grateful that I have the healthcare. I think that is the foundation of, having a healthy country in every aspect. If you have healthcare, like for me, I've been able to choose jobs where they're like, well, we can't offer you benefits. I'm like, that's fine. Or they have benefits and I actually get a higher paycheck because I'm not getting their health benefits and not having to pay for my medical care as part of their package, right? So I can actually get, a couple $100 extra a month because I'm not in the system, because I have free medical care. So I am very grateful that I have free healthcare. I had free healthcare growing up in the UK with the National Health Service. I had free healthcare in Japan for 4 years, and I have it, having been injured, in the military. And I'm very grateful for it. I'm very, very thankful that, this stuff can get taken care of, and that the Mission Act and the PACT Act, during the Biden administration allows the VA to be able to outsource to community care, which means that even in a place like Bozeman where there's no major VA hospital, that I'm able to go get a surgery done 2 days after I break my wrist, or 2 days after I see a doctor about it. A week and a half after I break my wrist, I'm in the hospital, in the surgery center getting a surgery, and now I'm back on track and I've got 10 weeks of PT 2 times a week. Super grateful for that. That would never have happened prior to 2020. I would have had to go all the way back to Houston, or I would have had to go park up in a bigger city like Salt Lake City, or which you don't want to be in the summer, it's 110 degrees, or over in Billings, and I wouldn't be able to do my nonprofit, help people, and be in the place where I need to be for my emotional healing, having lost Jeff, which I've been having a really hard week and a half, going through thinking about what he went through in the hospital, and being in a hospital is even triggering, but seeing those OR lights as I was being wheeled in, and then going through my recovery, it just breaks my heart what he went through, and how his body was all kind of chopped up and everything in the hospital, and now he's still in the lab. We still don't have him out of there. So I need to call LAPD tomorrow and get them, to get their ass in gear and get him out of there and get him, cremated so I can go pick up the ashes and then slowly make my way back to Texas for the winter. So I do need to go through Santa Fe as well on the way back. So I'll probably go through kind of the long way through Colorado, maybe fly out of Denver. It's super cheap to fly out of Denver. Maybe do 1 or 2 more flights out of Denver on Alaska or Frontier, one of those two. I'd rather fly Alaska. And then make my way down to Santa Fe. I don't think I'll be able to ride anymore this year. In fact, my bike is still at REI. I haven't even paid for it to get out of there yet. But I will go through Santa Fe. One of my friends, he just lost his adult daughter. She went through a lot of mental illness throughout her life, and she ended up not being of this world. So it's incredibly tragic. She was only 25 years old, and it was a big shock, complete big shock. So he tried everything he could to heal her and keep her in a good place, but sometimes when you have that level, there's really kind of nothing more that you can do for that person. But knowing that you tried as hard as you can, I think that's the most important. So I will go down there and see him for a little bit, and then just go through Albuquerque and then head back into Texas. So that's kind of going to be the plan. Yeah, so, and if I go to Santa Fe, then and fly out of Albuquerque, then it'll be easier. I could just drive my car and just switch the car in the van and just drive my car back and forth for a few weeks through the winter, and then that way I can just, I don't know, I'll figure it out. I haven't even thought beyond this, like, next week. I lost my little the dude abides. He fell down behind my seat, so I've got to find I gotta find Jeff Bridges. He's somewhere behind my seat. That was back when he was a dish. Anyway, never mind. Not gonna talk about that. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, overall, you know, it's convenient to have a town like this so close to where I was at. I'm glad I got 7 weeks of mountain biking in. I only had to come up here 1 day a week, but I've been here for, you know, a week and a half now straight, staying at the, you know, getting the surgery, breaking my wrist, getting the surgery, and actually no, yeah, a week and a half, that's right, because I broke it not last week, but the week before. But yeah, I mean, after what happened at the Walmart yesterday, I'm like, I just want to get out of Montana. Like, I thought it would be a little more aspirational and lyrical and, you know, this, but really it's just like, it's like all the it's kind of like a microcosm of all the places I've been avoiding, because all the people from those places have come here. So, which means I need to go to brighter pastures. Good afternoon, it's hot again. I wish I could be in the mountains. My hair's getting long. Finally. I gotta get rid of the gray though. Anyway, highlights help, but it doesn't stop all of it. Okay, so this debacle is coming off today, hopefully. So I have to go to Bridger Orthopedic at 3:40. So I've got 2 hours. I just got done with Planet Fitness, slept in, did another video on my computer, just kind of took my time this morning. It is 84 degrees. It is too hot here. I miss being in the mountains. I wish I could be up there in the mountains. It is so hot right now. I'm gonna go to this little Mukai coffee shop over here. They have nice frappuccinos, but their blender doesn't blend all the ice properly, so it takes me a while to drink. But anyway, yeah, so I think I'm just gonna grab my computer, go sit in there for an hour or so in the air conditioning, if they have air conditioning. Most places don't in Montana. Some guy drove by earlier in like a pickup truck with the old camper on top, and he goes, "Nice rig," and I'm like, "Nice vintage rig." It could be vintage or just disheveled. I don't know. There's no difference. But anyway, and then the girl that works in the Planet Fitness, she's very gothic, and she has like spiderweb sweatpants, and I'm like, "Oh, those are so cute. My daughter would love those." And she goes, "Aren't you from Houston?" I said, "Well, technically I have an address there, but I'm never there." And then she goes, "Oh, I lived in League City." I'm like, everybody from Houston leaves Houston. It just got so hot for everybody. That's a cool one. Field van. There's a woman, single, so a female traveler in a badass off-road Chevy. That's pretty cool. The only thing, it has a pop top. I was gonna say you can't stand up in it, but she has a pop top on it. At Planet Fitness, everyone's here to go shower. So yeah, so I think today I'm just gonna work on the computer for an hour or so, drive up to Bridger Orthopedic, and then after that come back down to Starbucks and just be in Starbucks the rest of the day. I'm just trying to delete files off, like things I can do with my right hand, because my left hand doesn't really work very well. I haven't taken any pain meds since the surgery. So I actually, like, they gave me Oxy, and I refuse to take it because I think it's like, you know, pounded into us that it's addictive and dangerous, and plus it constipates you like crazy. So I haven't taken any of that. It took like 3 days for all that medication from the anesthetic to come out of me. And that first propofol poo, not to be graphic, but it's not fun. Ketamine, propofol, all that stuff clogs you up like crazy. It was not fun. Yeah. So glad that part of my life is over. But after that, yeah, then I just, you know, yesterday morning was the first time that I could actually drive in the vehicle. So I drove just, you know, 1 mile, 2 miles down the road to Planet Fitness. I think it's like 1.5 miles. And then, yeah, just kind of went there. And then there's a Starbucks right here. There's a coffee shop right over here. So I'm just gonna leave the van here in the sun and go walk over to Mukai and go work on the computer for a bit. I'm sweaty now, so I'm hoping they take this off today. I'm really hoping they do. It feels nice now I'm in the AC, like right in front of it. But yeah, my hair is growing finally. I want it long again. I've always had long hair. It's just I, you know, went to a stupid like salon person that my friend at the time, not a friend anymore, was like, "You need to dye your hair blonde." And then I dyed it blonde again a couple years later, and it just fried my hair. So now I'm back to my normal color. There's some highlights and some gray. So getting old. I'll be 47 in 2 months. Wait, October, September, wait, August, September, October. 3 months I'll be 47. Cannot believe that. What is happening in the world? And then this shit keeps happening like I'm 4 years old. I'm sweaty. Okay, I'm gonna go to Mukai. I'm gonna go get one of their cheap $5 frappuccinos and sit in there for a minute with my computer. And then about 3 o'clock, so it's 1:50 now. 3 o'clock I will head to, is it doing this? Oh, 3 o'clock I will head to Belgrade, which is 15 minutes up the road, and go to my appointment. I lost my glasses case, so I need to go to Dollar General and get another glasses case for my regular reading glasses, my glasses when I take my contacts out. And then I have to have old people readers now because I can't even read close up. I can see like the leaves on the trees on the mountains over there, like way over, but I can't even see I can't see you guys because it's all blurry. So I'm gonna get my eyes checked again. Okay, let me get going and I'll chat with you guys a little bit later. Bye. It's so ridiculously hot. There's Prue, who's also ridiculously hot in personality, and me, who's not hot in personality. Anyway, here's Bridger Orthopedic. Let me go in. They're gonna go put, I got hair in my mouth. They're gonna go take this thing off and put my brace on, hopefully. And that's it. So yeah, this is up in Belgrade. So this is next door where people that have been priced out of Bozeman, they end up, I have to go back and lock the van. They end up coming here to live because it's too expensive to live in Bozeman. But anyway, okay. Well, let's go take this crap off. Hopefully this is all locked up. I'm tired. I only did 30 minutes on the stair climber. Yesterday I did 20. And then before that I didn't do anything for 4 days because I was overcoming general anesthetic, which was brutal. The nerve blocker, never ever doing that again. It's like I'd rather just writhe in pain than feel like my arm is not attached to my body. That was such a surreal feeling. All right, we're back on track with the cool brace again. So I come back on Thursday. I probably won't need to come back on the 19th and just come back on the 21st for post-op. The little scars or the incisions aren't that big. So yeah, just they kept the bandages on the inside. They put a little sock on. Feels so much better. Can't move it at all. And yeah, so let's get out of here. It's super hot here right now. Let's go back into town. Let's go to Starbucks for the rest of the afternoon. And I think that's it. So it's probably about 4:30 right now. And I'm not even hungry. I'm just tired and thirsty. So that's it. So let's head back into, I've got to stop off and dump out my toilet on the way now that I can use this arm again. But yeah, I'm not going to do a lot of physical therapy lifting, just mostly finger stuff. And it'll probably be maybe a 20-minute physical therapy each time. And then I got the copy of what it would have cost if I paid a single penny for it. And it was a pretty penny. So glad that it's all free. So thank you, Bridger. See you on Thursday. Oh, in other news, there's my scar. And so I'm able to take my wrist brace off. I don't know if I can move my wrist very much. It's still a little swollen. Yeah, usually you can see my veiny hands. Still a little swollen, but at least I can let it breathe for a little bit, and then I'll put the brace on when I start doing my thing.